Welcome back, students. I've got my baby. She's asleep. Solve that problem. This lesson is going to be about introducing the lean practical problem solving steps. They're going to be plan, do, check, and act. All right. What I've tried to put together is a brief, hopefully somewhat engaging video about what it's taken to get to the garage and in my current setup here. So it takes a lot of effort and time to make these videos, it turns out. So hopefully it is engaging and you do enjoy. This first video that you're going to see right now kind of covers the very first sort of planning steps that I took to get this whole thing underway. So there's going to be some questions associated with the whole planning of this. And I would describe this as a relatively simpler project. And the things that we're going to be focusing around here are going to be clarifying what the problem actually is. So I want it to be in a general sense on this. So differentiate the kind of the big picture of what this problem actually is, a little bit of what the contributor to starting this problem was, but then how I'm going to break down this problem, okay, and then setting the target, or what could be considered limiting the scope of the project. So I want you to think about what's going to be part of this project as it is, and what things I might identify that, yeah, you could spend some time on, but that would be expanding the scope of the project and maybe be the things that would be outside, something to work on in the future for an additional improvement. But for this phase of problem solving, what is truly part of the solution and what is the scope? Okay, and what would the end success actually look like? Okay, now, spoiler alert, I've solved the first portion. You can see here as an example. The mission was sort of accomplished. Now, we're far from perfection and it's not completely done. But again, in this first phase of problem solving, what was the scope? Okay, clarifying what the problem was, breaking down the elements of the problem, and then setting the target and the scope of the problem. Okay? That's going to be what I'd like you to focus on in this first initial video. Another video will follow with some of the other elements of the doing portion. So stay tuned. All right, kiddos, welcome to my house. Welcome, bienvenidos a mi casa here. Family pictures and everything there. There's family on the wall. But you're going to see a transformation before your eyes. Hopefully I'm going to be preaching what I practice here. This right now, because of the circumstances, golden opportunity. This is actually the bedroom. Stuff there. This has got to move from bedroom where people are going to be sleeping. Since I got to teach from home now, this is going to be moving. Where we're going to be moving this to is... now this corner, passing by all the things that are near and dear to me. We'll talk about this a little bit later. This has actually been in process for a while, so I'm seeing this as a golden opportunity. So I'm going to be off to the Home Depot here in a moment. And yeah, I might have a little bit of a problem here, but yeah, we'll talk about that later. Yep. Okay, so this corner here, focus, thank you, is where I'm going to need to get a desk type thing. This thing has served me well for quite a while. It's got storage underneath there, but issues with it, I can't get legs under it, and if I had to move a desktop computer out here, which I do now, it really isn't going to be so good to sit and walk. So in my problem-solving solution here, I think it might be helpful to know how big this space ultimately is and how deep. Now, up against the wall here, I got all that. Yep, more problems. Anyway, here we go. Probably at most sticking out here that I'd want to go is how many inches does it look there? I would say a nice round number. At most sticking out there, probably there. This tabletop, as an example, a little bit, about the same there. May even be a little bit deep. We're going to go to Home Depot and see what the options are. But we got from there, probably down to the next round number is probably going to be there at 18 inches. And there might be even some 21s in the middle there. So we'll hold on to that thought. And then what will fit? We don't want it to be too big. Don't want it to be too small. Talk about that there. But the beauty of this tape measure is the end of it there. It's magnetic. Okay, oops, I'm a little upside down. And what do you think? My maximum distance here, that is upside down, there's 5 feet up against there. I think any larger than that would be a little bit ridiculous. But you could see that I could go as far as 6 feet long there. But to me that seems, well, we'll talk about some philosophies on workspaces and stuff too. Flat surfaces, sometimes big flat surfaces, not always such a great thing. Now this one here, that one's 5 foot. The existing one is 5 foot there. It's like 5.5 feet long. Hence over there, if you need to see case in point why big flat surfaces may not be the best idea, there is a graphic depiction right there. But again, we'll get to that later. What did you think about that? 3 minutes later, I'm still here, yet the baby is gone. So, that short segment there, there's a few other things I want to touch upon here. Some other considerations that I'm going to be asking you about. First off is the concept of requirements during this planning phase. I actually went there and I measured the space where the new solution was going to be put in place out here in the garage. Right? I was setting some physical size requirements. The existing table that was there back in the previous space was, I believe, 29 inches deep by 6 feet, 72 inches, I believe, wide. Why would that have not met the requirements as currently the new future state needed to be? Okay. There's another physical requirement, and that would be for whatever the solution is going to be, had to do physically what? Well, hold my desktop computer, ideally, and all of the rest of the peripherals. I happen to have 2 monitors with my setup. Okay, so that would have been another requirement, that it actually hold and contain a monitor. Now, there were some other requirements here. Removing that I would like to see, and that is mobility to whatever the solution is. Okay. That's another requirement. So, if we were to sum up what requirements are, it would be what you want to have in the solution. Differentiating, though, from the how you get there. So simply what? How big? How much weight does it have to carry, the thing? And what does it need to do? All right. Addressing that how factor, though, is a consideration called a constraint. Okay? So constraints are going to deal with the how you get there. This is going to be a limit that you have to kind of put on things. And you're always going to see, typically out there, I haven't stated it yet, but money is usually always going to be a constraint. Okay? Time is also always typically going to be a constraint you're working to. Okay? And in this case, also additionally, where you can go to actually get solutions to the problem might be another one. Where do you think I'm going to specifically go to get my solution to the problem? The physical thing. I am limiting myself to one location. Okay? That is yet another constraint that I'm placing to just get this done. Okay? And it is. For me right now, I make note later, price was, I'm splurging a little bit on this one. So price wasn't as big of an issue. Maintain your receipts, kids. If this is a business thing, you can actually write off expenses, but it's another thing altogether later. But yeah, I am, right now, money's less of a concern. Don't tell the wife. Yeah, it's going to be what gets this done in a quick and timely fashion that's more important to me right now. Okay? And this is also going to stand for quite a while. So I'm willing to make an investment here up front to get kind of rolling on this and get something that I'm really going to be beneficial with, which, as you see here, I'm actually kind of happy. Okay? So, think on that and answer the questions that are associated with this video. Okay, till next time. See ya, everybody.